name is Ngaira Mandara. I am an illustrator and a 2D animator. I was born and raised in Dar es Salaam, so I'm very local here. I'm going to give you a short story about digital art and the project I'm doing called The Streets of Dar es Salaam. So the year was 2017. This was the very first digital art I did. At that time, I was already doing all the paintings and sketching on my book, and when I got the tool to do digital art, this is the very first one that I did. And the reason I did this was, at that point, I was trying to look for inspiration. Like, what am I going to draw as my first digital piece? So I was walking around at home, and I saw this situation. We call it mshkaki. And I saw this, and it hit me. I was like, hey, I haven't drawn something like this before. So what started out as an idea, I put it on the digital art, and it later became a project. So let's go back further. I was in primary school, and one of my favorite topics, or rather favorite subjects to do, is art. What the teacher used to do is, she walked in, she gave us paper and paint, and she would tell us a story. Sometimes it would be a story about her childhood. Sometimes it would be a story, a fictional story, a story she heard from her grandparents. And once she tells us the story, she would give vivid details. Like, once upon a time, there was a girl living in a forest. This forest was green, and she lived by the lake. So she would try her best to describe in detail the surroundings of this girl. And she would tell us after the story, draw or paint anything from the story that you remember, anything that made you feel a certain way. And we would do that. Sometimes it would be something very elaborate as a forest. Sometimes it would just be something green, because some of us hear a forest and we think green, so we draw something green. So we expressed the art on different ways that we felt. And this was really a foundation for me as an artist. Now, the Streets of Dar es Salaam project is really based on my expression of the different scenarios that I'm in. So I am usually moving around in Dar es Salaam, and I see different people, and I interact with them, and I get different stories. So every illustration here was manages to capture a certain emotion or a feeling that I felt at the moment I got inspired to do it. And in turn, whenever I shared this, people had different reactions. Like, I can think of the lady that is sweeping in the street. To me, at that moment, I started talking to her. I wanted to know her story. And she told me how she lives by herself, her children passed away, and this is something that she enjoys doing. It sort of gets her mind off everything that's happening. It's sort of like her way of meditation. So I was inspired to draw that. And when I posted it, I heard different stories from different people regarding the same person. I was like, okay, this is really interesting. Because I'm a digital artist, I got inspired to find ways to push my art. What other ways can I express art digitally? So this is a video, if you can play that. So I started doing and dabbling in animation. I wanted to make the art start to move, get a new, different experience from every piece. This is another video. And again, I'm building on the same experiences that I get. Every inspiration that I have, I always make sure that I draw. Now let me take you through a bit of my process. Everything starts on my sketchbook, which is right here. I'm always walking around with my sketchbook. I will write down notes. I will do sketches. Anything, literally anything that comes to my mind, I write it down on my sketchbook. And once I have it on my sketchbook, I then decide to move it digitally. Now, that's the line art that I do, and then I decide what colors I want to add, and the background, etc., etc. This is my canvas. I use a software, it's called Sketchbook Pro. The reason I really enjoy digital art is because I can literally have any tool, any brush, any pencil, any pen, any color that I ever want without going out and looking for it. Everything is within my canvas, and that's really a big reason why I enjoy doing this. For anyone interested in digital art, this software is free right now, so you can just download it and use it on your phone or on your laptop, etc. It's called Sketchbook Pro. Now, the tools that I use for drawing, I use that tablet. So that tablet gives me the same feeling as if I'm drawing on a paper. I use the pen, and I move in the same way I would do on a sketchbook or if I'm doing a painting. And I would get the same type of reaction that I would get. So the reactions to a lot of the illustrations I've done, illustrations and animations, I've posted everything on my social media. And the reactions of these illustrations is very much similar to my experience, or rather my emotion at the moment I was inspired to do it. People are telling me, hey, I know this place. I usually go with my family to buy something. When I want to go on holiday, I go buy clothes. Or once I want to buy something to eat, I go to the groceries in Kariakor. Different experiences that people get in different places. This is Mambo's Corner Barbecue. I don't know if some of you have been there, but these experiences is really interesting to see the reactions that people get. For people who have been here, they'll remember it. For people who haven't, they get curious. They wonder, where is this place? What experience will I get when I go here? And there's an interesting story I got when I started interacting with people and talking about my art. They tell me that there's a certain street I drew in Kariakor, and the person told me that that street is no longer there. I was born and raised in this street, but it's no longer there. They demolished it, and there's something else. So it opened my eyes. I started thinking to myself, hey, everything that I'm drawing based in my city and beyond is a moment in history. 50, 60 years down the line, the things that we are seeing right now could be different. So we need to capture these moments. And that was really a big lesson that I learned. This is just a compilation of other works that I've done. All of them are digital. I also try to keep a certain aspect of that feel as if I've drawn on a canvas, like it looks like a painting. I still try to get that feel because I still enjoy doing the physical paintings. Yeah, that's the end of my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.